So you've got your cake soap. You might recognize this. And you can get whatever you want to use as a shaving bowl. You can do anything from what I have here. This is a dollar store sugar bowl. I like it. It's low. It's about the right height for me. Or at least that's what I've worked up. So that works for me. You can get, this is my wife's grandfather's shaving mug. It's not terribly different than a standard mug. It's earthenware. It's just a little shorter. You can go as elaborate as, this is a shaving scuttle. This is, hot water goes in here and continues to keep the lather warm. Get time, I'll show you this one. And then you can get wooden bowls. There's also shaving sticks, and the concept is pretty much the same. Shaving bowl is, these are the ones you see for sale. It's just a wooden lid, shallow bowl. This was a pain because the soap is almost level to the top of this for the first while. Again, we get time, I'll show you that one. That one takes a little bit of wrist work. So, I'm going to do something that when you first learn how to shave, not everybody tells you. Oh, by the way, your brush when you got it probably looked like this. Might have been a little bit more fluffed out. Mine is widened. That's just the course of using the brush. It'll flare out. It's called blooming, if you need the technical term. So, hottest water you can get. I don't have kids in my house, so I can have mine a little hotter. And no, I'm not kidding. Yeah, it should be good. So, while that's soaking, one of the initial problems that I had was this runs around the bowl. This is a pain because as you're trying to work up a lather, it's all over the place. Just wet your fingertips, that's all. Now, depending on the soap, this does or does not work. Some do, some don't. And then just press it in with your thumbs. You really want to do this well. Let it dry the night before you do this. Because the bottom of that cake is actually dished, so all I've done is I've created almost like a little suction cup. Now, really I'd leave this a little longer, but I'm not actually going to be shaving tonight. This is just a demo, so. Note, there's no water coming out of this. This is why Badger is so highly prized. And that's still wet. So, what I've found is, and your mileage may vary, your brush may or may not, this is a Best Badger, which is one above the worst grade Badger. It's mid-grade. This is silver tip, and the difference is this holds a ton of water. This will hold almost a cup. It's obscene. It's also huge. It's like trying to lather up with a paintbrush. So what I find is drop it a couple of times. This is practice. I can't tell you how much. I can't tell you how heavy this needs to be. There's no look. There's no feel I can interpret. It's just when it works, you've got it. And you'll see actually, if you screw it up, it's not that bad. So what I do is just a gentle sweep and really push the brush down. And if you notice, there's some liquid down there. You can run that off if you want, no harm. Not doing anything elaborate here, it's just a swirl. Make your own joke. And there you go. Now if you want, you can come down around the sides, sweep up a little bit of that to try and get it a little more consistent. If you find that it's turned into something a little too thick, you can either palm a little bit of water in, or you can dip the brush. If it's already on your face, when you dip the brush, you can then use that to rework the lather. And it just takes, because you picked up a fair amount of soap on the bristles along with the foam, if you just keep working that, which you can't see on the back, is something like that. And there you go. Now, to clean your brush, and of course you would have shaved your hand, face, whatever. I do a two-step. I will invert the brush and run warm water through it. You're not squeezing, you're not pushing, you're just letting the action and water fan it out. Okay? Like so. Turn it over, give it a quick run, and there you go. It's actually fairly dry, not bad. And then hang it on the stand to dry. Now, my mistake was I went a little ridiculous and tried to make sure that I got all of this stuff up. Don't do that. Leave this in here, let it dry in the morning. It will be a different color, it will be shallower. Build that up, and what that does, that locks the soap in place so it doesn't get away. So, I'll show you really quickly how easy it is. Because we're going to do it again. I don't like this bowl. I hate this bowl. To be quite honest, I hate this. If I had, the grand experiment continues. I decided, okay, fine, let's sell it. Let's try it. I hate it. However, I've managed to figure out how to work with it. I didn't have a spare scuttle available, or a bowl, or mug, or whatever, so at least nothing would fit in at the time. So I learned. It works. Now with this, lose a lot of the water. And I actually found, and thank you Mantic59, thank you my friend, inverting it actually helps immensely. Now I've worn this down so I can cheat a little bit, because you can see there's actually a lip there, but this crawled over the side of the bowl, it went everywhere. But a little less vigorous action, and ta-da! Doesn't take long, and again, Now, some people say this should be perfect, you should be able to just do this and get it on your face. What I do, push the brush in. Of course, my face would be wet. Push the brush in and massage it in. You're trying to get into the follicle just a little bit. You're not trying to penetrate your face. And then just slow, gentle circles. And as you build the foam of the lather, it'll also lift the hair. And then, based on which direction the grain of your face is, and you can turn a little bit just so that you can get that build of foam. This would have been too thin. This would have collapsed as you were shaving. This will hold the moisture in place. And it's unfortunate, I don't think you can really see it, but there's actually hair suspended in that foam. Something tells me it's probably not going to come out of the video, but that's what you're trying to do with your beard, is you're trying to get the foam to hold the hair vertically, or at least up off the skin. Depending on how thick your beard is, this may or may not be easy. So, one last try. What we have in the last one is the Granddaddy. This is one of the older formulas out there. It's Mitchell's Wool Fat Soap. Those of you who know me have heard me rant about it incessantly. And again, I have to thank Mantic59. His YouTube video made this change from a royal, unbelievably irritating, I can't believe it, who conned me into doing this, this is a practical joke, right? To, I love this stuff and I never want to get rid of it. Yeah, that's right. In this case, you actually soak the cake as soap. Oh, and the brush. There's something about Mitchell's. It's a different animal. It's a high-fat soap. It lathers differently. It feels different. One of its big components is lanolin. That little bit that I picked up off my hands feels like moisturizer. Just a little tiny trace of that off the top. Now, you don't want to leave this to soak for a huge time. I mean, based on the temperature of your water. And I'm just going to pour that out and reheat. So, this is now warming the inner wall. And this soap now has a softened film sitting on top of it. This cuts down the amount of brush work that you need to do. With a nice hot brush, start working it. And of course, I'm also spoiled rotten because there's a water softener here, so mine lathers up much faster than some, but and again, this is just simple swirl. There's no big English here. It's got a unique scent. I swear I can smell lamb off of this. It's reminiscent. It doesn't smell like lamb, but there's a sweet note to it, and this stuff, when you put it on, it'll go on thin and again build. The direction of the grain, and then against the grain, and that is the best shave cream I've used so far. There may be something left, or there may be something better, but I haven't found it yet.